There's a question I've been sitting with, and I think it's one of the most important questions we can ask ourselves. Why do we need something to be addicted to? Not the dramatic addictions, not the ones that get you labeled or judged, but the quiet ones. The ones everyone has. The ones we don't even call addiction because they're so normal. Because let's be honest, almost everyone is addicted to something: your phone, your coffee, your workout, your work itself, the validation of a notification, the escape of a show you binge until 3 a.m., the ritual of a drink after a long day, the scroll, the refresh, the next hit of something that makes you feel alive for a moment. We all have it, and we all pretend it's just normal behavior, but it's not normal, it's a pattern. And patterns exist for a reason. So why can't we just be? Why is it so hard to sit in silence? Why is it so hard to be alone with our own thoughts? Why do we reach for something, anything, to fill the space? I think the answer is uncomfortable. I think we're running from something, not the obvious things, not trauma or pain or loss, though those are real. I think we're running from the void, the quiet emptiness that's underneath everything, the feeling that something is missing, the sense that we're not quite whole, and we've been taught that this emptiness is a problem, that it needs to be fixed, that it needs to be filled, so we fill it with everything, with whatever gives us a moment of relief. But here's the thing about the void: it doesn't get filled. You can pour your whole life into it: relationships, achievements, possessions, substances, distractions, and it will still be there because the void isn't a hole, it's a doorway, and we're so busy trying to cover it up that we never stop to ask what's on the other side. We're afraid of what we might find if we stop, if we sit still, if we let the silence come, because in the silence we might have to face the things we've been running from, the grief we never processed, the anger we never expressed, the parts of ourselves we've rejected, the question we've been avoiding: who am I? Who am I when there is nothing to distract me from myself? And that's terrifying. So we keep running, we keep reaching, we keep the noise going, we keep the habit alive, not because we're weak, but because stopping feels like falling, and we don't know what's at the bottom. So we call it normal, we call it self care, we call it winding down, we call it staying connected. We give it respectable names so we don't have to look at what it really is: a survival mechanism, a way to keep the existential dread at bay, a way to feel in control when deep down we know we're not. But here's what I've come to believe: the addiction itself is not the enemy, it's a symptom. It's a signal. It's your soul telling you that something is out of balance, that you're carrying something you weren't meant to carry alone, that you're avoiding something that needs to be faced. The addiction is not the problem, the addiction is the attempted solution, and it works temporarily until it doesn't, until the thing that was helping becomes the thing that's hurting, until the escape becomes the cage. And that's the devil's energy in this. The chain that looks like relief, the thing you reach for that promises to make it better but slowly takes more than it gives. Not because it's evil, but because it's a shortcut, and shortcuts never lead where you actually need to go. So, what's the alternative? I don't think it's called turkey. I don't think it's purity. I think it's honesty. It's asking yourself, what am I really reaching for right now? What am I trying not to feel? What would happen if I sat with this discomfort instead of numbing it? Not forever, just for 5 minutes, just long enough to see what's there. Because on the other side of that discomfort is something real, something that's been waiting for you to stop running long enough to notice it. It's not a void, it's a door. And the door doesn't need to be filled, it needs to be opened.